All right, we're at the home of George and Mary Frey. I actually came out here, gosh, we figured it was probably about 8 years ago, and looked over this, and they wanted to do it then, but couldn't make it work financially. So now we're ready to get going and get everything squared away for them. So pretty exciting. It's gonna be a radical change. It's a pretty house, but this siding, getting the new Hardie siding on there is really gonna make a difference. So pretty straightforward job. We are tearing off this first layer. There's a few boards that have fallen off, and we were able to see there's a nice insulation board behind this. So we're gonna leave that, just put on our Hardie wrap, and then put on the Hardie. So we're just doing one level of tear off, and then basically putting our Hardie over that after the Hardie wrap. All windows, doors, corners, everything will be trimmed in 1x4. We have a couple rake areas that you can see here. Those are all included, of course. We're doing a fascia overlay, which you can see. The fascia has this little wraparound, kind of 90-degree flashing that kind of angles back into the fascia. You can see that right there. So, but it has a little lip that kicks out, and basically if we just take that off the face of the fascia, we should be able to slip our 5/16 under there, and then just reattach the fascia, the flashing to the fascia. So everywhere else, as you can see here on this facing edge, the flashing does not wrap over. It's not a 90-degree fascia, or 90-degree flashing, excuse me. So that's kind of what we'll do on the gable peaks, and then everywhere else won't be a concern because it's exposed like this. But there is some fascia repair that we have to do prior to the fascia installation, and we'll notate that as we go around. But these boards are shot, no possibility of doing an overlay, so all this has to come off. We are not touching any porch ceilings or soffit because it's stained wood. We're gonna leave that alone, and they will deal with that at a later date. But to accomplish what really we needed to get done, we're focusing on the sidewalls and the fascia, okay? So all this massive porch ceiling under here, we're leaving that alone, as well as all of the soffit will be left alone. All of the sidewall underneath here, this will all be addressed with Hardie. That window, this door will all be wrapped in the Hardie plank siding. Dogs, she has several dogs. Picking up nails, flashing, cuts, anything like that is super important, so we need to do a great job with cleanliness. The roofers came in, did some work for her, and left nails everywhere, and it was just not a good thing. So we can really go above and beyond by making sure we do an excellent job with cleanup by not leaving anything around on the ground. Fascia here, again, the same thing with the the 90-degree. You see right there. There you go. So get our 5/16 under there, and then basically this is all facing here. This is all good to go. Another huge rake right here, so that'll all be done in Hardie. There's some gutter here. It's just kind of really just screwed up into the fascia. That will need to come down for us to do our work on the fascia. So as we come around here, all the area under the carport, this beam, we'll just leave this beam as it is. All this porch ceiling, again, we're not touching. All the sidewall we are doing. So all this will be done in Hardie plank. Doors will be wrapped. We're not painting the doors because they're stained. Doors will be left alone, and then we're wrapping all the doors with the Hardie 1x4. Porch ceiling, again, will be left alone. Okay? Again, this is probably the worst side, and I remember 8 years ago, this was one of the worst sides, and it still is, obviously. So it's curling off. We can see right under here the insulation board. Again, we got a huge gable fascia. We got 2 windows up there that we need to work with, and those will both be wrapped in Hardie. This is all, there's the electrical we got to pull. All of this will be done in Hardie plank. We come outside here, this little porch on the right side, we got 1 gable end and all this fascia that needs to be accounted for. Again, we got a couple more feet of gutter here that just needs to come down so we can do our fascia. If we go inside, we got this gable end and this gable end that need to be done. Okay, these 2 will be done in Hardie. This wall right here will be done in Hardie going back to the door. Okay, again, we're not painting that door because it's stained. So that's how we're working this area under here. Again, porch ceiling left alone completely, but all 3 gable ends will be done in Hardie. If we come around to the back side, this deck, since we visited last has been taken out. We're just going to have to work around that with our ladders. It's not a lot of siding. If we want to bring some plywood to put down, if that's easier for the guys to work with, we can do that. But there's no expectation that the client is going to be doing that. If you look up, so this area, that fascia, I mean, I can't tell for sure, but this fascia all along here does not look to be in great condition. So that's probably a majority that's going to have to be replaced before we do our fascia overlay. But all that area up there on those clear story windows will be Hardie plank siding and trim. Okay, I think these are all Anderson windows actually. Again, nothing on the porch ceiling. Come around here, and it's just this side wall. We got to wrap the door, wrap the windows, and do the siding in between. You can see behind that board where it's fallen off, beneath the windows. All of that is an insulation board that's the same all the way around the house. You got one GFI right there by the door. Security lights, so anything in the anything in the facing wall or the side wall, we're going to take down and reinstall when we're done with the siding work. Okay, so we got some rafters. We'll have to cut around those. Huge, it's probably 14-inch, probably a 3x14 board. That's obviously the roof rafters that extend up. So we'll have to work around those with our siding and our fascia. And then we come around here and we're back to the front porch area. So this will all be siding underneath here. Again, we got some security lights there that will be taken off and we'll reinstall. We got another rake wall up there, up top on that clear story area. That will all be siding as well. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. Again, it's going to be an awesome change. Mary's really excited to see this. I know last time when I met with her, they really wanted to do this and it just wasn't possible. But now we're at a point where they're able to get this done and it's going to be an awesome project. So we're excited. Mary and George, thank you all so much for trusting us here. And we really look forward to doing an excellent job for you. Thank you.